You don't need to overhaul your life to feel better. You just need to stop beginning your day in someone else's chaos. These are the small things I do, almost obsessively, to keep my nervous system balanced. None of them are revolutionary, but they've changed how I feel on a daily basis more than anything else I've tried. Waking up 30 minutes earlier. Not to hustle, not to be productive, not to do more. Just to have 30 minutes that belong entirely to me. Some mornings I read. Some mornings I sit outside and watch the world go by. Some mornings I head to the gym. Other mornings I'll meet up with friends for a walk. What I do changes, but what doesn't change is that feeling. I start my day on my own terms, prioritizing myself before anyone else gets a piece of me. The alternative used to be this. Alarm goes off, phone goes on, and the whole world floods in before I've even had the chance to open my eyes properly. And I'd spend the rest of the day in this low-level reactive state, playing catch-up and feeling behind before 9 a.m. Waking up 30 minutes earlier fixed that. It didn't change the demands, but it changed how I reacted to it. 2. Moving my body after work. I fell into this one during COVID when I was desperate to get out of the house at the end of the day. At the time, I didn't intentionally realise what I was actually doing. But then I read this book, and it explained it in a way that finally made sense. Stress is not a thought, it's a physiological state. It doesn't care whether the thing that was stressing you out was an angry email or a lion chasing you. The stress response fires in the same way, and if you don't physically complete that cycle, that tension just remains there. A walk, a run, a gym session, even just 20 minutes of moving your body tells it the threat has gone and it's safe to release. The movement doesn't have to be intense, it just has to happen. I've done this enough times now that I can feel the difference when I skip it. The tension stays, sleep is worse, and my brain won't switch off. 3. Listening to music instead of podcasts. I used to be an avid podcast listener, on my commute in, on my commute out, and even in my lunch break. Always something playing and something to learn. I thought I was being productive, but what I was actually doing was filling my brain with every quiet moment before it had a chance to rest. I went to a retreat recently and reconnected with something I'd completely forgotten about. Music. I loved music when I was younger. It was the thing that I put on when I needed to feel something. Your brain already has a lot in it. It doesn't need more information crammed in after a long day of work. What it needs is space. Now I choose music based on what the moment calls for. Something to calm or decompress. Something upbeat to reset. Whatever suits the emotion. And I promise you, it's way more effective than another productivity podcast. 4. Journaling every morning. I started journaling a few years ago, and I'll be honest, at the start it felt strange. I didn't know what to write, and I felt like I was narrating my life to no one. But I kept going, and over time it became the single most useful thing for narrating the thoughts from my head. When your thoughts stay in your head, they just circle, and they lose proportion. They become feelings rather than facts. Journaling takes those swirling, half-formed thoughts and puts them onto paper. There, you can actually look at them. You're no longer in the problem. You can take an objective look from outside. That shift from emotional to objective is where the clarity actually comes from. I'm not going to go into a full how to do this in this video here because it deserves a video of its own. But if you're curious about how I started, then hit the subscribe button so you don't miss this. None of these things are dramatic. You won't find them on a list of how to transform your life in 30 days. But they are the difference, for me, between feeling like I'm surviving my days versus actually living them. Your nervous system is not a machine you can push indefinitely. It needs inputs that tell it it's safe. These 4 habits do that for me. But to get the true transformational shift, you need to stop existing in your life and start living it. I've linked the video on how I switched my mindset here.